What would you say are the top three cultures from which a wise man might seek a wife?
It's a good one. One thing that is an absolute truth from the red pill circle and experience that I had, the further east you go, the better you get. Um, I can't. Oh, that's a good one, man. The best experiences I've had so far are the ones that I'm with right now, which is why I'm not looking for any other wives.
Mhm.
So the best experiences I've had are Russia and Asia, Indonesia in specific. Those have been by far the best experiences I've had so far. After that, I would say East Africa in terms of Kenya. Um, I've been married to quite a few. I said I wouldn't mention these people. I've been married to quite a few Somalis, and I've not had it not blow up in my face in some form or another every single time I did it. There's always been some sort of like just insane drama connected to them or the people around them in terms of their people and their culture. It's the people I've basically written off marrying ever again. It's always been trouble. Yeah.
I've spoken on, and shout out to the Somalis who follow. I know a lot of Somali brothers follow, but we just have to be honest about it. I've even spoken about this myself about the Somali sisters, just generally very low quality. Doesn't mean they're not beautiful. Many of them may be attractive, tall, slim, even tall and thick, but the mental is atrocious. The personalities, the mental capacity, they're both in disrepair. And I
Mm,
see it on such a consistent basis. I would highly recommend against dealing with a Somali sister. I've dealt with a few of them for they're beautiful, but it's always, as you said, it's a terrible experience. You guys know, I've been around the world and I never speak ill of any country. Now, granted, the Chinese women in China and the Hungarian women I don't find to be very attractive, but you can pull something out of that mud. Somalia, I would completely avoid. Now,
mm,
Dagestan, you keep saying Dagestan, Russia, which is a very specific region of Russia.
yeah.
And I want to add context for the people because I would say some of my top three gold diggers, if there was like a gold digger Olympics, I would say, top you have the Ukrainians, the Moroccans, the Russians, just top gold diggers. And of course, there's various other little countries that have some earners as well. But
Mm,
if you'd ground people a little bit with a few notes on Dagestan.
yeah. So Dagestan is as far as I know, is it the only Muslim region of Russia? I believe it is. It's the only one that I know of. So Dagestan is basically, yeah, it was separated, or they did have a separatist movement at one point, and it's a Muslim region. Yeah, in the southeast of Russia, close to Europe. They're a very rugged people, mountain people, like the Russians like to call them. Yeah, and it's a predominantly Muslim region. There are different groups within Dagestan. Like there's Chechens, there's this one, there's that one. There's different tribes and whatnot amongst them. Um, Chechens being the most well known because of like their whole
Yeah.
UFC MMA type of thing. But yeah, but yeah, it's the Muslim region of Russia. It is a part of Russia though.
Correct. And that's one thing I wanted to highlight because, just like within the United States, you have Southerners and you have people from the Midwest, and there's different cultures that go with that. Uh, so Dagestan, a Russian, major air quotes from Dagestan, does not typify a Russian woman that you would typically meet. Certainly, if you live in the United States or you're in Dubai or you're in Thailand and you encounter a Russian, it's not going to be one of the ones from Dagestan. They're going to look different. They're going to be immodest. They're going to be super money focused.
Mm,
It is not a Chechen or someone from Dagestan. That is a different culture.
yeah, for sure. The Slavic people are different than like than the mountain people, for lack of a better term to call them. I don't know what to call them otherwise. Yeah,
And different religion too, right? Like most Russians would be
yeah,
Russian Orthodox as opposed
yeah,
to
exactly.
Muslim, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to EJ. Comes in via PayPal. He writes, Peace of the Saints. Much respect to Mr. Abu American. Question. If you don't mind sharing, how is your current relationship with your wife's parents? Was there a specific way it came to their knowledge that their daughter would be in a polygynous relationship? And I guess, like, do they know is a sub question. And
Okay.
lastly, do you have any do's and don'ts in your interactions with your wives? I know that was a long one, so we'll start you back from the top. He writes, how's your current relationship with your wife's parents?
Um, I mean, my Russian wife's parents. I talked to her mother. I haven't talked to her recently, but we have a good relationship. We have a very
Speaks
good
English.
relationship. Yeah, she speaks English. Yeah,
Wow, it's
she
very
actually worked and
impressive.
lived in Dubai, for quite some time.
Sophisticated.
So yeah, she's a very nice lady, very very friendly, lovely lady. I love talking to her. When I say beautiful in terms of her personality as a character. Absolutely, just amazing woman, in my humble opinion.
Hmm.
Um, my Indonesian wife's parents. I talked to her father. Her mother is kind of upset with me, but she's also a very nice woman in general. But
She's
her father is just
permanently upset or currently
yeah, I think she.
upset?
I think she's permanently upset with me. You know, women.
Okay. Okay.
So she's doing the woman thing. But nice lady. I wouldn't crap on her or anything. She's a nice lady.
Okay.
She has her reasons, and I don't begrudge her those reasons.
Mhm.
I can I can expound on it if need be, if desired. Her father is just an absolute. The dude's a saint, man. The guy he's a special kind of special. I love that guy. Like
Mhm.
like just I just love him, like straight brotherly love.
Mhm.
I do quite a bit for this guy. I cut someone's hand off unjustly for him. So
Mhm.
yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
Okay. And both parents are aware that this is a polygynous marriage, both
Yes,
sides.
when when I married their daughters, they did know they were coming into polygynous situations. Yes.
Okay. Was there a specific way it came to their knowledge? Like
It
how
was
did
just
you tell
direct.
them?
The daughter, these types of conversations, especially with polygyny, because a lot of parents will be opposed to it. You have to let the woman do the work on this. The woman has to decide that she really wants you. This goes back to what you were talking about. If she's down for you, if she's
Mhm.
not down for you, most women will not go to bat with their parents. They know their parents are generally going to be against it. They're not going to go to bat with their parents over it. If they're not really down for you. If they're down for you, they want to be married to you. They know their parents are going to generally oppose it because their parents are going to think that this is not the best situation that she can get in terms of marriage. And then she's going to go to her parents and say, hey, look, I know what you're going to say, but I want this guy. And so it was, mostly that right there.
Yeah, and in this case, they both women had children. Does these cases do the children join under your family or under the previous man?
In the current
Just
situation, they're under the current family, but they're yeah. And I actually made a video series on this about marrying single mothers. To
made
be
a video
clear,
series on
even
it. All right.
yeah, I made a video series. It's in my premium section.
Okay.
To be clear, I love my women, but I will tell you right now, knowing that both of my women are most likely watching, I don't advise marrying single mothers. This is just my advice. I don't
Just keeping
advise.
it a bean out here, boy.
Hey, I'm just
Uh,
being honest. It's
yes.
even when you have an agreement and understanding that the costs of those children are not yours, some way or another you end up picking up the costs.
Of course.
You don't pick up full costs, but they're still there.
Yeah.
And then you add your own children that you have with them together with that. Nah, it can get
Yeah.
expensive.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but the reality is also, as a man, you need to really push yourself to make more money. Now, not just so you can take care of somebody else's kids.
Man,
Don't
it's
don't
slavery out here, brothers. It's slavery.
don't I'm not saying you're making more money to take care of somebody else's kids. Don't do that. The father should take care of his children. That's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to understand that if you do go into this situation, you are going to end up at some way or another, carrying some sort of cost, whether it's minimal or whether it's like if you just you're screwing yourself and it's maximal, it's there. You know, I don't advise it. But there are good women that that are out there and they have kids. But
There you go. And, we all
yeah,
have to really heed that wisdom. That is the
yeah.
wisdom of 14 marriages. That's the wisdom of more time on earth than many of you watching. And I want to underscore the fact that most people don't tell the truth. They paint things out to be more rosy than they are. And I really respect that. Even, for example, I'm going to shoot a dating talk show tomorrow. So all of you tune in 7 p.m. Pacific, excuse me, Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I invite you all to tune in. But one of the young ladies, beautiful little red bone, she says, "Hey, I'd love to come on the show, but if this isn't, is this paid?" And I was like, "No, we've had over 200 girls. It's not paid. We don't pay anyone." And she says, "Okay, well, I usually take my kid with me everywhere, and I obviously wouldn't, take my kid with me to a podcast, so I won't be able to do it." Which is to say that there's always this looming burden and this extra piece of luggage that you don't want. And I'm speaking for the young guys who are just getting in the game. It's different. Like in your case, you have 10 kids. I mean, bring on the other two, like, right? You're an established, mature man. But for you young guys out there, you guys who don't have any children, know that this is a real burden you're embracing. And with this young lady, she can't even go on a podcast and spend 2-3 hours, and then also that financial burden that Abu American speaks of. This is a real thing. Now, I think we perhaps differ in the idea that the woman should earn. I think if the woman is not raising young children that are consuming much of her time, then she should have a remote job. I wouldn't have her going in to the office. I think she should have a remote job, or she should do a significant number of work tasks for you as an entrepreneur. But I find that often they have so much spare time, and it is very detrimental. It's extraordinarily detrimental for them to have spare time.
No, you have to occupy them. I think we talked about that earlier, just briefly. It's like you have to occupy them. If you don't, they're going to start occupying you and themselves with something goofy. Like I said, women are good at making bad decisions, and if you don't give them tasks, if you don't give them responsibilities, they are going to come up with something dumb to do. And that dumb might involve another man, or it just might involve drama and distracting you from what's important. That's mostly what it is.
Yeah.
And that's probably worse than another man, and I'll explain why. Because with another man, you're going to walk away. It's like, my women understand. Another guy comes into the conversation. If there's ever any question like, who's that you're talking to and why are you talking to him, I'm done. There's no conversation. You're out the door. That's easy. But
she got to pack up her kids too
instantaneously, bro. There's not even a conversation about it. But when you deal with their drama, that distracts you from your focus. This derails you from what's important. I don't think women understand, or maybe they do, how much energy and time that takes away from like what's productive. And they don't really care, because
they
what is
do
to
not
them?
care at
No,
all.
it's attention, and that's what they want. And so, and that's draining. That can really screw your life up, dudes. So you got a woman that's just constantly draining your energy with drama and whatever else, dude. It mentally drains you to the point you have no energy to focus on anything else.
That's right.
You can't have that in your life. Cannot have that in your life.
That's a fact.